welcome once again to, extended into December, Zelda month! I wasn't able to work on Zelda videos ahead of time like I was last year due to some personal stuff going on, so unfortunately there will only be 2 videos left for Zelda month, plus the Majora's Mask collection videos I'm doing on my second channel, PvG Gameplay, which I will finally finish. So to make it up to you guys, I figured I'd do the 2 most oft-requested Zelda videos I get, this particular video being not only the most requested Zelda video, but the most requested video ever, Zelda or not, the Ben Drowned Creepypasta.
Ben! You should talk about Ben Drowned! Make a Zelda month G-Files about Ben! Why you no include Ben? Ben should be on here. PvG, please include the Haunted Majora's Mask cartridge with Ben. Talk about Ben. Ben. You forgot Ben! Ben Clark is subscribed to you on YouTube. You should do a G-Files on the Ben Majora's Mask Creep poster. Can you do a review on Law's Majora's Mask and a G-Files of Ben? G-Files. Ben Drowned? Why you no include Ben from Majora's Mask? Am I the only one who thinks PvG should do a video on Ben? Apparently not. Ben Drowned. Can't do anymore, got the hiccups. See what you did? Give me the hiccups.
But before I do that, I'm going to cover a couple other creepy and weird theories about Zelda that I've been itching to talk about for quite some time. In Ocarina of Time, once you collect all 3 spiritual stones and take the Master Sword, Ganondorf really messes Hyrule Castletown up. Even before you go forward in time, you can find a dying soldier in the back alley who was attacked by his men. He talks to you for a bit and then he dies. But the happy music is still playing, so who cares, I guess. Hey, this soldier is dead. Oh, what a happy day. Hey, this soldier is dead. I just watched him die. Come on, everybody! But probably the creepiest thing left after the battle is the Ghost Hunter. Not only does he look creepy, he sells ghosts for a living, he can read your mind, and he also says this. I didn't really know what to think of this as a kid. Prostitution jokes. When I was younger, I just assumed he showed up sometime after Ganondorf gets the Triforce of Power and set up shop in Hyrule Castletown because, well, that's just clearly where the party's at. But if you think about it, there's a lot of characters from the beginning of the game that aren't accounted for after Ganondorf takes over. Is it possible that one of these characters is now the Ghost Hunter? Like the medicine shop guy. You think you're so great with that smirk little face sitting over here in your pointless shop that nobody ever goes to because you're really stupid and dumb and don't smell very good, and that guy told me that your medicine doesn't even work as good as I was originally led to believe, and so that's why I think you are the Ghost Hunter! Oh, there he is. There's a few different theories on the subject, but these are the 2 that I find the most interesting. First off, the boy in the graveyard. Whilst hanging around in the graveyard all day, stomping around and pretending to be Dampy, he seems to express great interest in ghostly activities and even wishes that he was old enough to go on the graveyard tour. He also carries a stick that seems similar to the one the Ghost Hunter later swings around. But unlike the Ghost Hunter, he doesn't like trouble and will actually scold you if you try to move gravestones. Oh, you'll tell Dampy, huh? I'll tell Dampy about your face! Got him. To find who I think is the most likely candidate, you don't have to go very far. There's a Hyrulean soldier that stands in the exact place that the Ghost Hunter stands 7 years later. This soldier, in very similar fashion to the Ghost Hunter, seems to enjoy trouble and disorder. The Triforce symbol, both on the Hunter himself and crudely drawn on the wall for some reason, also suggests he has a connection to the royal family, which the guard, being a Hyrulean soldier, would have. Triforce. Perhaps this soldier died in the battle against Ganondorf and his spiteful spirit lingered on. Or even more intriguing is the possibility that Ganondorf admired the soldier's desire for chaos in similar fashion to how he tells Link that he likes his attitude, and in turn spared him and transformed him into the spirit-esque form. This would also help explain why the Ghost Hunter appears to admire and respect whom he calls the Great Ganondorf. The Happy Mask Salesman is a character that I talked about quite a lot, even before he became a popular topic due to the Ben Drowned Creepypasta. There's tons of weird things about him. He spazzes around, he spawns an organ out of thin air, he clearly knows way more than he's letting on, and he's even flat out scary looking and occasionally violent. But what bothers me more than what he's like is who he is. His strange demeanor and knowledge is creepy enough already, but he also disappears completely at the end of the game. This was obviously intentional, but it's not clear exactly what it's supposed to signify. Once again, there's many theories, but if I had to guess, I would say he was perhaps one of the Ancient Ones, a tribe that, according to the mask salesman himself, once used Majora's Mask for hexing rituals, but were eventually forced to seal away the mask due to the trouble it caused. This would explain not only his knowledge of the mask and its powers, but also his apparent ability to perform actions that could be seen as magic. Further evidence is found inside the moon towards the end of the game, where there's 5 lunar children who are theorized by many to be images created by Majora. These children's character models greatly resemble that of the Happy Mask Salesman, and they even ask Link if he too will be a mask salesman. If he was a part of the tribe of Ancient Ones that first held the mask, it would make sense that Majora would use his likeness for his illustrations. But why does he even want the mask in the first place? Because he's evil. Maybe. But other than his suspicious behavior and possibly one line where he appears to be almost disappointed that the mask lost its power, the game doesn't really offer too much solid evidence to support it. But the Majora's Mask manga, albeit non-canon, does. Here you can see a bit of a sinister side from Mr. HMS, and also a line where he states that if he gets the mask, he'll have no further business in this world. And towards the end, Link, under the influence of the Fierce Deity's mask, takes a swing at the salesman and calls him a troublemaker. Yes, and now it's time for the thing everyone wanted to hear about for some reason.
The scary, the disturbing
Fake story about Majora's Mask. Okay, no, seriously. Ben Drowned is a well-written and very cleverly implemented story which used not just writing but incredibly well-crafted videos along with it. Something very avant-garde for creepypastas, I would say. I mean, the Herobrine myth is pretty fun, but come on. Is this really the only visual stimulation they could come up with? Funny how everyone who just so happens to run into a mythical creature's best on-hand camera equipment is something that's more akin to a ColecoVision controller than a halfway decent cell phone. With Ben Drowned, you get nothing like that. You get multiple video representations of the events that take place in the story in halfway decent quality. Now, I'm not gonna bother retelling the entire story, there's plenty of other videos you can watch that have done that already, but I will give a very brief synopsis for those who still had no idea what I'm talking about and are still watching for some reason. Ben Drowned is a creepypasta written by Jaducible about a guy who bought a sketchy copy of Majora's Mask from some creepy old guy. As luck would have it, his newfound game is not just sketchy, but haunted by a powerful spirit known as Ben. A bunch of creepy things start happening in the game, many of which I've been showing on the screen, yada yada yada, and maybe Ben Drowned or something once, I don't know. But long story even shorter, like I've already mentioned, the story is just that, a story. While you could argue that the theories of the Ghost Hunter and Happy Mask Salesman are also unproven, there are at least evidence that backs them up. The Ben Drowned creepypasta is just a story made up by a fan of the game with no real evidence, other than some well-made but fake manipulated clips from the game. And in spirit of the story, I actually created a file named Ben on my own copy of Majora's Mask, and what do you know? Nothing happened. So that just goes to show you, same with Herobrine and Minecraft, you can't always believe what you read on the internet. Hey everybody, thanks for watching my Zelda video on Ben. If you liked it, why don't you go on with your life and not hit a button? Because who really needs to click buttons? You know, nobody. If you want some more Zelda month, then why don't you check out my last video on Zelda month right here. Top 5 Zelda items. Or you can watch my latest mask collection video on my second channel, PeanutButterGamer. Right here. I don't know why I'm talking like this. Ben! Facebook and Twitter. Bye!